Adam, how are you feeling tonight? Disappointed, frustrated? What would you say is the emotion tonight?
I think there's a number of emotions flying around at the minute. I think disappointed, frustrated, a little bit let down. But at the same time, it's another step in kind of my progression of what needs doing and what needs changing. I think today was a prime example of a team that's a long way down the journey and a team that's just starting out on a new beginnings. I think we looked a little bit disjointed today. We looked like we had a lot of new players. But we can cry about it, we can sulk about it, or we can get up and start fighting and move on to the next game very quickly. We've got 10 days now where we'll do a lot of work. These boys need to play together as much as they can now and be around each other as much as they can. And we move on.
What disappointed you the most? The nature of the goals that you gave away? Because on the whole, since you've been here, the team have been pretty good defensively, but today there was a couple in there that weren't good.
No, I think like I just said, it looked disjointed today, which is not the team that we've set up and put out. We did change the shape, but that's not an excuse for anybody. The players should be good enough to cope with that and carry out the roles. But like you say, the goals we gave away today, it was a lack of responsibility. I think we've been very good at being organised, being disciplined, people doing their job and then helping the mates out. And today we didn't do that for some reason. I think we lost to a better team today. I think they came here on they're on the front foot as a football club. And like I say, we're starting out on a new journey. We will get to that place. We will end up as a very good team. It's these punches on the chin. The work we're doing now with the new bodies in, normally you've got 6 to 8 weeks to do that in pre-season, and we're trying to squeeze it in past the halfway point of the season. So it's about stripping it back. It's going back to basics. I want to see a lot more thrust about us. I think when we got punched on the chin today for the first time since I've been here, we kind of looked like we were rocket, and that's not what we're about. Every time and there hasn't been many, but every time we have conceded a goal before today, we've always come back with a real positive attitude and on that front foot. And today was the first time that I've seen kind of glimpses of the team that I watched before I took over.
And as it highlighted today, perhaps you already knew, has it been a bigger job than perhaps you initially anticipated, or is it going as pretty much as you thought it might?
No, it was always going to be a challenge. I think the point of the season, and what you find is when a team or a club's been through a tough spell, a tricky spell, when they do take, like I say again, a couple of punches on the chin, it's really easy to jump back on the negative side and back on that feel sorry for yourself side. It's not about that. It's we were never going to get everything our own way. We were never going to get everything's going to go smoothly, and we got a couple of results and everyone's talking about the playoffs. That's fairyland. This is football. It takes time, it takes work, it takes commitment, it takes people committing to the cause fully and to the environment they're in. And that will come over a period of time. They were the perfect example of it. I think probably 60-70% of that team's been together for 3-4 years now, and even little things they manage the game really well because it's a know-how. I think we're in the very early stages of a new beginning, and we need to kind of go right back to basics quickly to put some points on the board, and then once we get to the summer we can reevaluate and go again.
And 10 days now, like you say, before that surely Darlington double header. Plenty of work on the training ground, is it? And the lads are presumably going to be busy.
Very busy, loads of work. I think it's probably as much as we need game time together. I think the break will allow us to put a little bit more into the lads, get them used to each other, get used to. There's a good point made in the dressing room by a member of staff that we need to know our own players' strengths. So if you're a right back, you need to know what your centre half strengths and weaknesses are, because at the minute we're not playing. Today we didn't play to each other's strengths. I think we lost the game last week, and we lost in a fashion that you don't accept it, but there was a lot of positives. Today is not acceptable. This group of lads doesn't really know me yet, but they will understand that performances like that will be a bolt out the blue and won't be accepted, because our fans, and again they came in good numbers, they paid good money, a tough time of the year to be shown more than they got today.
And just a final point at the end of a long and disappointing day. It doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, and I know the answer, but fans have been asking today, why have you switched dugouts and why have you switched the half that you warm up in? It's just a bit of clarification I think they're after.
Again, it's just a change. I think there's a lot of things that need freshening up. I think we feel that the crowd behind the goal at the far end can be a real force for us. We want to, I'm not going to say too much because obviously opposition teams listen and whatnot, but we feel that moving it to that end will be in the long run a positive. It enables us to warm up in that end, which we have certain reasons for. So loads of different reasons that will stay in-house.